What up, my guys? Welcome to another show, man. NBA Talk with J Money. It's late night, nightcap. You dig what I'm saying? Just a quick 15-minute video. I'm gonna run through every single game. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to get the banners ready. I'll have them ready for in the morning. I'll be going live again in the morning as well. But like I say, let's get straight into it, man. It's all business. It's all business, guys. First game up, we got the Knicks here versus the Clippers. Early start, 1 p.m. Eastern start. This will be basically a 10 o'clock in the morning start for the Clippers over there. This will be the earliest game of the season on the road as well. They're coming off a big win. Like I said, you guys can do what you want. Knicks, the only way I could look in this one, obviously they've been on a bad run. We took them the last game, they lost. Like I say, when the team loses, it's quick to just run away from them or to have bias in your capping or to say, oh, I don't want to bet them or run away from them. And obviously, we have our hell no teams. But like I say, spot play here, the only way that I could look in the Knicks in this one, they also will have Cam Reddish. He's suiting up. They could also possibly send a shock of energy towards this team. We remember how Kemba came in there and they just seemed to start to ball out, right? So Cam Reddish should be good to go. He should be a big boost as well for the Knicks. We'll see what the home crowd does as well. If he plays well, the crowd will love him. If they don't, they're gonna boo your ass. The Knicks, they come off a game where they were getting booed. They were down 20, so we'll see how they respond to that. Obviously, Julius Randle, we're not sure where his head is, really any of these Knicks, but I must say this would be a fade spot for the Clippers coming off a big win from the 76ers. They're a West Coast team on the East Coast. Early start, like I say, on their body, it's basically like a 10 a.m. start to them. I could see them coming out. So this is a sleepy spot, if you ask me, for the Clippers. Obviously, Knicks off 3 straight home losses, booed by the crowd. Knicks minus the 4 is the only way I could look in this game. It basically would be a fade spot of the Clippers here, guys. So let's next game up, man. Let's go over here to the streets of. We're going to the streets of Washington, D.C. We got the Celtics here versus the Wizards, right? This line opened up at, let me get the updated line for you. Line is basically -1, right? It's basically -1 for the Wizards here. Let me see, just real quick, looking at the game, Pacers game and shit. All right, Wizards -1. You got the Celtics off 2 bad losses here. This is, in theory, a double revenge spot for the Celtics. 2 straight losses to the Wizards as well. Wizards, they don't have a point guard. I'll keep saying it. This team, like I say, no real traditional point guard here. Obviously, it's tough to trust the Celtics, guys, but I don't know who's necessarily going to guard Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum. They would have to beat themselves in this type of game. Marcus Smart is back. Wizards 1-8 against the spread last 9. They did finally get their coach back, so there should be a shot in the arm right there. They do need that energy, but in this game, I must say I have written down as the Celtics. Me personally, only way I can look in this one, obviously, the Celtics, like I say, matchup wise, they can get it done in this one, and maybe they needed to go on the road to get back right. Like I say, the Wizards, they've been at the house for a while, 7 straight home games, but they hadn't been playing well, hadn't been covering spreads. It just got smacked up by the Nets as well. So we'll see what happens in this one. Celtics, personally, the only way I can look in this one, I always say, hey, do your research, look at the games, and if you like something, hey, ride with it. You feel something in your gut, man, go with it. If you're coming to listen to me personally, Celtics are nothing for me. I can't back the Wizards right now. They are in the funk, but they are at the house, been at the house for a while, so you never know what you're going to get from the Celtics, but I could see them turned up here. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum have a couple good matchups here. They got Robert Williams third back, Marcus Smart as well to guard Beal, so Celtics would be a lean in that one. Let's go over here to the streets of Orlando, guys. This is ugly. I'm not playing this game, but it's a double revenge spot for the Magic here. You see them going. The line is all over the Magic, right? Both times the Bulls have laid double digits here. This looks like a small number, right? It looks pretty fishy. It looks like they want you to take the Bulls here. They've laid first game they laid 10 in Orlando. They beat them 123-88. Then the next game they come laying 13.5 at the house, and the Magic were on a back-to-back in that game. Guess what? The Magic came out with a big effort there. The Bulls had to come all the way back just to win that game. So the Magic have had history of playing these Bulls tight. I probably won't be on it, but one thing I would be looking at, and Terrence Ross's question as well. One thing I'd look at here: Wendell Carter Jr. points, guys. Wendell Carter Jr. points, rebounds, and points, rebounds, assists. If you know, you know. I talk about it all year. You want to take Wendell Carter Jr. going up against his old team, the team that drafted him. He didn't even know they were drafting. He's like, oh damn, y'all. He found out from his agent. He didn't want to leave the Bulls, so he always feels some type of way going up against the Bulls. Watch Wendell Carter Jr. They have been bringing him off the bench, but he still scored 19 points off the bench the other day. So it went for 25 points, rebounds, assists. If he's off the bench, you'll get even a better number. But watch Wendell Carter Jr. go bunkers versus his old team. Even if the Magic get blown out, that is a prop that I like tomorrow. Lean the Magic. The Bulls are very banged up. They had a bunch of wins. They are due to regress. And you see Caruso out for a while, Levine, all these guys. They still have ballers over there, but I'd like to say I lean the Magic. I'm not betting the game, but Wendell Carter Jr. points, rebounds, assists, all of them separate and together. I definitely think it's a good look. He will go hard versus the Bulls, guys. Like I see, let's go over here to the streets of Miami here. We got the Heat versus the Lakers. The Heat, the best team in the NBA coming off a loss as far as against the spread. They're 12-4 this year against the spread coming off the loss. This number one. This is a revenge spot as well. The Lakers laid 5.5 early season in LA. They beat them 120-117 and went into overtime. So this line opened up at -4 for the Heat. The line is all over the Heat, right? You also get them 6-0 against the spread. Last 6 following a loss. They're 7-1 straight up and 6-2 against the spread last 8. I'm glad they lost the last game versus the Hawks. Now they come back to the house. The Heat are more well together put team. They're a better coach team defensively. All these things. PJ Tucker is questionable here. You won't have Tyler Hero or Kyle Lowry, so that's not good. And you got Anthony Davis questionable here, guys. So he was warming up last game. Don't be surprised if Anthony Davis plays in this game. Even with all that said, I can only look towards the Heat here. They're just a better put-together team. Like I said, coach, defensive, their mindset, motivationally wise. This Laker team is a bunch of old guys out here, man. It's simple. You never know what you're going to get from Westbrook. They can beat up on the Magic. This isn't the Magic, guys. I lean the Heat. I'm not definitely playing the game, seeing what's up with AD. If I like the Heat, might even get a better number. But I'll be honest with you, it's not a strong enough game for me to play Heat or nothing for me there. Let's go over here to the streets of Charlotte here, man. Or no, let's go to the streets of Toronto real quick. Let me get some water real quick, man. Going to the streets of Toronto. You get a revenge spot for the Raptors. They lost in Portland 118-113 on November 15th. Portland laid -3. Now you get the line coming all the way up for the Raptors, -7.5. Obviously, the line is all over the Raptors here, telling you that they're likely finna get some revenge and smack these boys up. This is the last game of a 6-game road trip for the Blazers as well. I'll admit they've been playing some better ball. They got McCollum back. Anthony Simons has been balling. Nurkic has been balling as well, but this is not necessarily a good travel spot for him. It's always tough getting into Toronto and getting out as well. Raptors first game back at the house after 5-game road trip, but still the only way I could look here, I'm sure the Raptors couldn't wait to get back home. They don't have any fans there as well. So this will the Blazers be used to this boring type of game? The Raptors are already used to playing with no fans. It seems like when they had that homestand, teams were it seemed like teams weren't ready for it coming in there and no fans. So lean Raptors there. That's the only way I could look, guys. Let's go over here to the streets of Charlotte. You got the Hawks here. The Hawks have turned the corner, guys. I'll be honest with you. The Hawks have turned the corner. And I'm looking to bet them pretty much for a little while until they show that they're regressing. They're 20-25 right now. I think they're moving up to like the 11th. 11th place in the East. They need to stack up wins. They're out of the playoff picture. They seem to turn the corner, guys. So the Hawks plus the 3, the only way I could look. I know that the Hornets have been balling, playing some good ball. Like I said, the Hawks 3 straight wins. They're playing with confidence. Number 2 offense last 5 games, so they can run and gun. And you look at the matchups, they actually match up pretty well with the Hornets over there. The Hornets have dropped down to number 18th in offense over the last 5 games. Just think about it. It sounds pretty crazy, as good as they are, but the facts are facts. The Hawks offense has been rolling more than the Hornets defense. I mean, the Hornets offense. The Hawks is the only way that I could look in this one. They need some wins to stack up, to climb up here. They're going to look at the Hornets like, hold on, you're not really better than us, man. We're the big dogs here. We may not have been playing well to come into the season, but I think the Hawks will come in here and take care of business tomorrow, guys. I'm pretty sure I'll be on the Hawks plus the 3 in that one. I know the Hornets, they ball out the house. not tomorrow. Hawks about to come in there and bring that momentum on the road. I see the Hawks going on a streak here, my guys. We knew that they were better than this team, and what they're putting out. Now they're starting to show it and really care, acting like they care. So I'd be looking towards the Hawks in that one, guys. Let's go over here to the streets of San Antonio, man. This is a tough game. The Spurs have lost 6 straight games to the 76ers. You get the revenge spot from January 7th. They lost 119-100. That's when the Spurs obviously were out their players, Keldon Johnson, Derek White, Lonnie Walker. Now you got this is the last game of a 7-game homestand for the Spurs. They've only won 2 of the games so far, 2 of 6. You got a one-off for Philly, 2 straight games at the house, which they come off their loss versus the Clippers, a bad loss where they led by 24, didn't piss it away. So you do get the Sixers coming here kind of pissed off, a little sour off a terrible loss. That's what Doc Rivers does. But you also get a one-off in a somewhat meaningless game going to the West Coast before you have 5-game homestand back at the house. So don't necessarily like the spot for the 76ers. In all honesty, I can see this one going either way. The spread is pretty fishy as well. You got the Sixers line open up at -2, is down to -1. So I have Spurs written down as a lean. I see scenarios where the Spurs get this home win before they head back on the road. Seth Curry's out. The Spurs and Thibault is questionable as well. Thibault will be a big question mark here because if he's not out there to go up against DeJounte Murray or Derek White, the Spurs have the guard advantage here. So if Sixers won't have Curry's already out. If Thibault sits out as well, I do think the Spurs will definitely get this win. They got DeJounte Murray, who's a baller, Derek White, Lonnie Walker, Vassell. These guys have plenty of guards that they can throw at the Sixers there, guys. So I know that Embiid obviously has the matchup edge here. He's going for MVP, but I did have Spurs written down as a lean, guys. Let's go over here. Let me see. One more. We got 4 more games I'm gonna go over. Nothing for me on Pistons, Nuggets. I can tell you that right now. Mavs versus the Grizzlies here, guys. You got the Mavs. I think one of the second best in the league or third best. 5-0 against the spread last 5 games after a loss. They've won 5 of 7 meetings versus the Grizzlies, guys. This is a conference rival. Obviously, the Grizzlies been balling out this year, but the Mavs probably going to look at this game like, hey, look here, we want to catch up and win a division. And if they want to catch up, you have to beat the Grizzlies here back-to-back times. Obviously, they just ended the Grizzlies' 11-game streak. Now the Grizzlies come in with no Desmond Bane, Tyus Jones, Dylan Brooks, Kyle Anderson, and Steven Adams. And Steven Adams is questionable, and so is Brandon Clark. So unfortunately, the Mavs, they have Golden State on deck, guys, but at the house, this -3.5, and it's been a conference rival. And the Mavs being the more rested team, 2 days off rest, I could only look towards the Mavs in this one, -3.5. A lot of people will be on the Grizzlies. I say do whatever you want. This is a tough game, but Mavs, the only way I could look, a heavy lean to Mavs -3.5 in that one, guys. Timberwolves here. We got the Wolves. Oh, we raised by Wolves. You dig what I'm saying? I'm hopping on the Wolves. And if you know, you know. If you really watch my videos and really listen to me, I told you guys I was rooting for the Nets in the last game versus San Antonio because I wanted to fade them next game. I already looked ahead to this spot. I want to take the Timberwolves in this one, guys, -2 at the house versus the Nets. They have 3 days off of rest, getting their much more rested team. Let me break it down for you. 6-1-1 against the spread. Last 8 games coming off a loss, the Timberwolves are. They're 4-0 against the spread. Last 4 games coming off a double-digit loss. So when they get smacked up, they're pissed off, and I loved it because I'm the same way. The Nets 3-14 against the spread last 17 meetings in Minnesota. They're also 1-5 against the spread last 6 games following a win, guys. So this is also the Nets' 4th straight road game. The Timberwolves, they have the major rest advantage with 3 days rest. They're 2-0 against the spread and straight up already this year with 3 days rest. I'm rocking with the Timmies tomorrow. Oh, let's go. D'Angelo Russell going up against his old team. We'll see if we get Pat Bev in there. We're going to need him to go up against Irvin or Harden, but the coach says that Pat Bev is doing everything he wants he can to play regardless. I like Anthony Edwards, Russell, and Karl-Anthony Towns to get this win tomorrow. I'll be on the Timberwolves -2 versus the Nets, and that one major rest advantage. They will turn up at the house, guys. Let's go over here. A few more games. So one more game here, then I'm gonna tell you the college play that I'll be on. One more game, Jazz versus Warriors. It's a tough game right now because it's a revenge spot. The Jazz lost to the Warriors on January 1st. They started their new year with a loss on to the Warriors. Both of these teams are in a funk right now. Both teams 3-7 against the spread last 10. Now, obviously, a lot of that with the Warriors is because no Draymond Green. A lot of it for the Jazz was they had Gobert out for a while. Now Donovan Mitchell is out. So revenge spot for them losing 116-123 in Utah earlier this season. Like I say, Rudy Gobert, he's questionable now. Donovan Mitchell out, still no Draymond Green. I want to lean to the Jazz with the revenge spot. We'll see if they get Rudy Gobert in there. I do think that as far as the guards, they can match up well here. I could also see the Warriors getting it done. It's a tough game. I likely won't be playing it. But Warriors been in a funk as well, though. Curry had to hit a game-winning shot against the Rockets, and then they came off a loss to the Pacers straight up. So how are we supposed to trust either one of these teams, man? The college basketball play, I'm taking Michigan plus 3.5. Something I noticed over the past few years when these teams get a big win, especially over a conference rival, and it's a top 5 team in the nation, and they storm the court. It's usually a letdown spot the next game, guys. They're patting you on the back. They're riding your winker all week. The whole college was riding your winker the whole week. See what I'm saying? Pats on the back. Hey, good job. Y'all getting drunk. They went out and partied, all that. Give me Michigan plus the 3.5. I think they're gonna come in there and beat Indiana. Letdown spot for Indiana. Like I say, storm the court fade. The Michigan, they sit 2-3 in the conference, where Indiana sits with 4-2. So you got a must-win spot here for the Michigan if they want to move up in the rankings. Basically the same thing like the Hawks. You got Hunter Dickinson back for Michigan. Line open at 4. It's down to 3.5. I agree with it, and I see this one closing at probably plus 2.5. The Sharps will hit this one heavy in the morning, guys. Michigan plus the 3.5. I'll be on the Timberwolves tomorrow. I'll be on the Hawks. And that's about it, man. I'll probably be on the Knicks in the morning as well. You guys don't have to take it, but that's what I'm liking. I'll be on here live in the morning with my guy Shark, 11 o'clock Eastern. Let's get some cash, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Hit the like button, subscribe. Go and follow me on Twitter at JMoneyIsMoney. We still got Smack City shirts as well. Hit me up for the Smack City shirts. Let's get some cash, guys. We out. My guys.